Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Microphone check. Let me know if you can hear me. Sounds good. Let's get into it.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Oh shit. I did not hear so I had went on mute all of a sudden. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna try that one more time. I'm all over the place.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Okay. There's some type of audio thing going on. What's going on, people? Peace, 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 world. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn, back live, on Saturday night as we do. Hope everybody is well. You know what I'm saying? They out here trying to trick us into thinking COVID is over and whatnot. We'll get into that. But there's some other recent happenings that deserve our attention tonight. I'm sure you guys have heard that that murderer, Derek Chauvin, was sentenced to 22.5 years yesterday and some other things attached to that sentencing. And we'll get into that. R. Kelly, he's now in New York as trial approaches, and we'll get into that. But I want to get into some positivity first. Hey, Hazel E. Let me actually see who's in the chat real quick. Let me see what's going on with this audio thing, because I just realized when I played the video, something happened. All right. I was on mute and was talking and going and talking and going. Something's going on with this mic situation, but all right. I think we good now. I think y'all can hear me. Let me start over. Peace, world, peace. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. I'm back live here on this Saturday night. You know how we do. Hope everybody's doing well. You know, they out here trying to trick us into thinking COVID is over and whatnot. We'll get into that. But there are some other recent happenings that deserve our attention tonight. I know you heard about old Derek Chauvin, the murderer. He was sentenced to 22.5 years yesterday. Some other stipulations were attached to that sentencing. We'll get into that. R. Kelly is now in New York as trial approaches. Yeah, there's movement. But before we get into those things, I wanted to get into a little bit of positivity, a little bit of positivity. So let me just share a video. I want to talk about this amazing young queen in the middle of this picture of these. I was going to say these two scumbags. Yeah, I could say that. Let's see. I want to make sure I have her name right. Is it Sha'Carri Richardson? She, like Simone Biles, who we talked about a couple lives ago, deserve her. She deserves her flowers too, and our continued support. The Olympics are coming. We have some stellar Black women athletes and just athletes in general from the U.S., but who deserve recognition. So let's get into that real quick. I just hope this audio plays. Okay, let's see. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna unplug this mic real quick. Let me see if that helps. Okay, y'all. Hold on.
JV and Oliver, a fantastic start.
My bad. I didn't notice it was on mute. Thank you for letting me know. Let's do that again. All right, let's go.
We've got one more race left for you, and it is a big one. There will be 3 athletes going to Tokyo, and hitting that charge is 21-year-old American Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah.
Somebody who is always aware of the spotlight being on her. She wants that. She needs it. The United States women have not won the Olympic gold in this event since 1996. So it's going to take somebody who is audacious and bold and brash to get the United States back on the top.
Women's 100 is underway. JV and Oliver, a fantastic start. She's putting the pressure on Richardson. Here comes Sha'Carri. Richardson's going to Tokyo.
Damn. She did that. Yes. That was dope.
I am an Olympian, no matter what is said or anything. I am an Olympian. A dream since I've been young. I'm pretty sure everybody's dream as a track athlete. So being happy is an understatement. Being excited, nervous, all of those feelings count in one. I'm highly blessed and grateful. My family has kept me grounded. This year has been crazy for me.
That's beautiful.
Just last week, losing my biological mother, and I'm still here. Last week, finding out my biological mother passed away, and still choosing to pursue my dreams. Still coming out here, still making sure to make the family that I do still have on this earth proud. And the fact that nobody knows what I go through. Everybody has struggles, and I understand that. But y'all see me on this track, and y'all see the poker face I put on, but nobody but them and my coach know what I go through on a day-to-day basis, and I'm highly grateful for them. Without them, there would be no me. Without my grandmother, that would be Sha'Carri Richardson. So my family is my everything. My everything is to the day I'm done. You know it. You know it. You know it.
Yes. Sha'Carri Richardson. That was dope. Hold up. Yeah, she did that. It's so beautiful to see her with her family, her grandmother. She sounds very confident as well as grounded. And she also expressed gratitude a couple times, which says she's in tune with spirit and she knows her God. So with that said, shout out to her and the other sisters. Did you see all them sisters on that track? That was beautiful. And there's others that are to be celebrated as we approach the Olympics. So we'll be continuing to talk about these stellar, amazing humans. So moving on, because there are some things I had actually forgot to touch on last live. Now I'm wondering, did I delete it? But one of them, Hold on. Let me just grab the picture. Today was a little bit of a fully packed active. I'm still celebrating the birthday. I think I mentioned to y'all my son and I share the same birthday. So he had his little thing today. I was hanging out with them for a little while. They ran me like they did all his childhood friends and all of that. Same way when they were little. I'm out there throwing the football, kind of stuff. It was a good time though. No complaints over here. All right, I'm scrolling through my pictures. It's just hard to see. They all look alike on the thumbnails. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing some other stuff I forgot. All right. I might just have to pull up a fresh story on that one. Let me do that. Okay. All right, I'm going to share this other story. We're going to keep giving people flowers. This is posthumous, meaning this person has passed. But Nipsey Hussle, he's supposed to receive his posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You know, as I posted this on my Instagram story and I think on my YouTube community, but, you know, it's the least they could do. You know what I'm saying? It's always kind of like, to me, like a grand gesture or some type of symbol, because, you know, he didn't get that much from them when he was alive as far as, you know, the entertainment industry. But, you know, that momentum was gaining right before he passed. But for most of his career, I guess you could call it, or life even, they didn't recognize him. But, you know, it's obviously a good look for him, his brand. It says Nipsey Hussle is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The late Grammy-winning artist is among 38 honorees who make up the Walk class of 2022. Hussle, who was shot and killed on March 31st, 2019, at the age of 33, released his debut album Victory Lap in 2018. It received a nomination for Best Rap Album at the 2019 Grammy Awards. Always too little, too late. But you know, I just wanted to recognize him for that, or at least put a spotlight on the little bit of recognition they're giving him. Let's see. Yeah, definitely salute Nip. Yep, the great Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues. All of that. Yeah. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you here. I see you in the comments sometimes. Female Usain Bolt. Yeah, she's dope. I'm looking forward to seeing all of them in the Olympics. Let's see. Love Warrior saying 4 sisters on gymnastics and 1 on the swim team. All right. That's right, Wayne. Positive vibes. Saturday night. So, let's see here. I don't know. I mentioned it was a small gesture with regard to Nipsey, but I guess I did say the same thing about Juneteenth. And I also kind of feel that way about Chauvin. I feel like it has to be done, and it's a symbol of something, not necessarily anything substantial. Like, we need laws to be changed. That's where really all the problems lie, in the laws. So I think the attention needs to be more focused on that rather than these statues and awards and this and that, And I want to also talk about, thank you, Miss Della. I want to talk about Johnson & Johnson. Let me share the link. I forgot. Y'all didn't remind me. In case my people want to come in here, join this conversation. All right. Let me see. Johnson & Johnson. Oh, yeah, this is something else I forgot last time. Did you guys know that the U.S. Supreme Court, they upheld the Affordable Care Act, or the Obamacare, some people called it. They rejected an attempt to strike it down by Republican-led states. That's been going on for a long time, but finally the Supreme Court upheld the Affordable Care Act. So shout out to President Obama for hooking that up. What else is here? Let me just click the pictures because I can't tell. Okay, I have a duplicate. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Oh yeah, this was an old headline too, I think. So let me get rid of that. I need to make some room. That's why I don't have the pictures I need. All right, let's see. Weird. All right, let me see what this is. Okay, here's one of the things. So Johnson & Johnson is in the news or in the headlines. They just agreed to pay a $230 million settlement for their role in the opioid crisis, which is less than 0.3% of their yearly revenue. And no one will go to prison. This is proof. This is a tweet, actually, but it included the headline. So, but they say this is proof the war on drugs has always been an excuse to enslave Black and brown people. So Johnson & Johnson has been a contributor to the opioid crisis over the years and has just now settled $230 million, which is a drop in the bucket for Johnson & Johnson, as well as what was I going to say? They contributed to the opioid crisis. They're just now being made accountable for that. And they're only having to pay this little bit of money. And like this person is saying, there's no prison time. Like, this is a criminal act. And this is how this whole white collar stuff, there's so many loopholes for them and so much behind the scenes handshaking and deal making that these people, they just slide right past accountability, when it comes to killing people, because at the end of the day, that's what the opioid crisis is really good and known for. Let me pull up the other one. There's something else they were in the headlines for. I think this is it. Now, let me look at the chat. I'm all over the place. Okay. Baby powder killers. So, okay. Here's the other headline. I found it interesting. So the U.S. is going to donate 3 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to Afghanistan. And this was reported to the press on Air Force One. I found this interesting because Afghanistan also put out a video. I wish I would have sent myself the link because the video was real short and I just happened to come upon it. But basically, Afghanistan leaders, U.S. leaders there was a summit and like a press conference. And it was really Afghanistan leaders assuring the world that we, the U.S., are not abandoning them, but that this is a smooth and planned transition for us to move our military out of their country. It was like a short but sweet, like real little bitty press bite, and it happened at the same time Chauvin was being sentenced. And I found that to be very suspicious, because usually when people need to put some information out, they wait until there's a bigger story taking over the headlines to sneak in some shit. And that's what I feel like they were doing. I'm gonna look into that and maybe do a separate video. Hopefully you guys are catching my separate uploads. All right, beautiful spirit, I see you. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing, birthday girl?
I'm great. How you feeling?
I'm good. Happy Saturday to everybody.
Oh, we don't get no pic today, huh? We get the
I was trying to figure out how to add a new picture. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out though.
yeah. It's all good. I'm just happy you're here. So yeah, so what you think? So I'm just tripping that Johnson & Johnson, they're in the news for a couple different things, and none of them to me are good. They're donating these 3 million doses to Afghanistan. Johnson & Johnson is, and I was looking at some of the other tweets and stuff, and they were saying really they're just offloading all their extras because don't nobody want it and stuff like that.
So now they want to go kill people over there.
Basically, it's bio warfare at its greatest.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just a trip. I just thought that was interesting. So
I don't understand how they're getting away with this.
I'm telling you, they're getting away with a whole lot.
I know how, but this is bananas. Like, this is crazy.
Well, something that's not in the headlines though, that should be in the headlines is this video that is made for the victims really of that insurrection that took place on January 6th. So let me pull it up. I think it came off of somebody's Instagram, but they reshared. Ardently anti-Trump. Hold on. Okay. Oh man, I forgot Instagram. You just have to let it kind of. Let me see.
Do its thing.
Yeah. Let me reach. I'm like, stop. Okay. Y'all got that? Okay. All right, Miss Della.
Miss Della.
Hello, everyone.
My queen.
Welcome back. What's going on with you?
Not much. Happy Saturday, and also happy belated birthday, dear.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you and thank you. So happy Saturday to you guys too. All right.
Yeah.
Let me figure out how to play this. Let's see. Of course, now there's no sound. Sound that. It just had sound a second ago.
They don't want us to do content.
That's crazy because that's exactly what this is. I'm gonna refresh it again. Let me see. We're gonna fix this.
Yes. Rebuke you.
Okay. Here we go. Found the volume. And
showtime.
Oh shit.
So tonight, a liberal political action committee ardently.
Wait, I want to make it big like it was. How do I do that?
Trump, who's commercial.
Like, what did I do?
Podcast we've aired.
You didn't do that. It's all them.
I'm gonna keep clicking this thing. Hold on, because I clicked something. I don't know why it went back out.
The Midas.
Hold on.
And this.
Let me restart this. Come on, open up.
It's not you. It's them. Them people.
It's a good video too. Okay, shit. No. Oh no. Get out of here. Okay. I had all kind of shit going on over here, y'all.
Birthday energy. Yes. Oh.
Right. Something. Okay, hold on. Brian Williams. Okay, maybe I can hold on. Let me do something different. Brian Williams. Insurrection.
Miss Della, how did your weekend start off? How's it been so far?
Ms. Dallas
that will help you manage the stress and anxiety brought on by COVID-19.
Hold on, I'm just testing something.
Hope lives here in California at Cal Hope. Wherever you are, whenever you need to talk to someone, call the Cal Hope
okay.
line.
I done played the wrong. Okay, I found it. All right. So here we go. Let me unshare this. Okay. Hang in there with me.
Yeah. Hold it on, we're hanging in there.
Holding on. Okay.
We flying high.
Here we go.
Last thing before we go tonight, a liberal political action committee ardently anti-Trump, whose commercials and podcasts we've aired occasionally in the past. They're called the Midas Touch, and this weekend they put this out on social media, quote, "We made a $184,854 TV buy with this ad on Fox News this week. Fox News just denied airing our ad. Retweet and get it out in every corner of the country," they say. Well, we have a pretty good reach too, so we've chosen to air it tonight. While you watch, ask yourself, what isn't factual about it? Which people in it aren't real? It's about the attempt to overturn our election, the insurrection of 1/6, and the story is told by those in the fight.
I'm proud of the officers I worked with on January 6th. They fought extremely hard.
Our worst nightmare really come true, an attack on American democracy right here in the nation's capital. I experienced the most brutal, savage, hand-to-hand combat of my entire life.
I received chemical burns to my face that still have not healed to this day.
I just remember people still swinging metal poles at us, and they were pushing and shoving. They were spraying us with, bear mace and pepper spray.
They were all shouting at us, calling us traitors. It's been very difficult seeing elected officials and other individuals whitewash the events of that day or downplay what happened.
As an American and as an Army veteran, it's sad to see us attacked by our fellow citizens.
Midas Touch is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay. So,
folks at Midas Touch, for the ad you won't see on Fox News to take us off the air tonight as we start a new.
So yeah, Brian Williams did that.
Yeah,
he was like, "I have reach too, so let me play it." They trying to hide. They trying to hide the evidence of the fact that that was a real situation, like a real terrorist attack.
Yeah,
it's literally a terrorist attack.
So yes, I saw that. I did. I watched that. I've seen. Well, of course, I've watched that. Remember CNN, and thereafter, and I do have. I do watch Midas Touch as well, and he is correct. Fox, ONA, and Newsmax would never show anything that's anything bad that will represent Trump. They refuse to do it. So that's why. That's why I'm glad that Midas Touch put out that little ad letting everybody know. Because that is true. They would not say anything negative. That's why right now that you have people that only watches those line channels, and they still to this day does not know that over 60-something frivolous lawsuits was filed and dismissed because there was no evidence of fraud found in the election. But they don't know that. Fox is never going to tell them that. So that's why they believed that what Trump said, that the elections were stolen, because they have no idea. And they have no idea what in the world this man tried to do to overturn this election after all of that failed. So yes, thank you for playing that. That is the true statement for that.
Our resident political broadcaster. Go ahead.
Trump, I mean, you know what? This country that's right there is very disheartening and disappointing, embarrassing, and I don't understand how he can be still free, no charges on nothing that he's ever been accused of and been in behind of. I just don't What is the world really done came to?
So let's talk. We're gonna talk about it again next week because
Yeah.
from what I understand, that charges should be filed next week on the Trump criminal charges for the Trump organization.
Okay.
So that's what's been coming out now. Yes, you're right. And you even got, so like I said, some of the same Republicans. The way it was one particular Clyde something, I can't remember his name. Don't care to. He was one of the Republicans that actually, when the rioters was coming through the door, he actually, and I don't know if you have that shot or not, but he was the one that, with the police, when they had their guns out, barring the door to making sure these people don't come in. He actually put out a statement a couple of weeks ago talking about, well, if you didn't see it on TV, you think it was just a natural a tour guide. You call people jumping on climbing on the walls, beating police, a tour guide, so they doing everything they can to make sure that they trying to say they patriots, just like that one lady that got killed. They won't know why there's not justice from her. She broke the fucking law.
They're suing. Her family is suing.
You broke the law.
And
you
I
climbed through the window when they told you to get there, and your ass got shot.
Yep. And that one part with the one officer or military soldier that was getting crushed in the door, that brought tears. I mean, that
was scary.
This is serious. This was real life.
Did you hear the people in this video say that this was like, somebody said this was the most intense and aggressive hand-to-hand combat they've ever had in their whole life and career? That's insane.
Yeah. And then the footage that they tried to put out, that one video that is done, that I said looked like they were filming. They, I don't know if that was purposely put to make it seem like it was a hoax or something. Because I questioned it. Like, was this real or wasn't it? But it was.
They put out more video today, and I think one more earlier this week. And Trump had a rally today. So this is what I'm saying. He had a nerve to have a rally. So right now the target is for him, and he calls them rhinos, Republican in name only. Any Republican that did not go along with him, he's actually going to that particular state and campaigning against them. So that's what he was doing tonight. He's going after anybody who said any special Republicans first, and be negative and try to get them to get someone to run against them in 2022, especially those ones that only have like their term is up next year.
He played a dangerous game with his life. He really is.
He doing something, it's the thing. These are things we've never seen. This oh my God, 2020 has been 2021. This insurrection, COVID, like all kind of stuff is going on.
And I mean, they're doing it boldly too, sis.
Oh yeah.
In plain sight.
But that kind of reminds me of the whole UFO thing.
Yes, UFO. Yes.
Well, yeah, because we're waiting on the disclosure, and I guess the information did get to the government or the Pentagon. Let me just share this.
Yes, please do. And I don't think they mentioned nothing about UFO. They refuse to say that. Say those three letters.
Yeah, they're using different terminology now, I noticed too. So they're basically saying here that a highly anticipated U.S. intelligence report on UFO sightings concluded that the vast majority could not be explained. So basically, the report said, we can't explain this. I mean, what the fuck is that? It says it was unable to rule out the possibility that they were highly advanced aircraft operated by foreign adversaries, or that they were of extraterrestrial origin. So they're still confused about whether or not it's a foreign object from a foreign adversary like China or Russia versus the actual alien situation. They just won't do it. And guess what? Okay, so I talked to y'all about the handshake deal, and dang it, Love Warrior or Beautiful Spirit, I'm sorry. You sent me a video. I think you emailed it to me, and it was short and sweet. I had it all ready to go, and then let me look for it real quick. But like I said, I think it was confirmed. These aliens, they came, they showed themselves to the people in charge. They finally said, "Okay, let's go to the people in charge and make a deal." Look, because they've been taking bodies and doing stuff and doing all kind of stuff, and it became a problem. So the people met, they made a deal. Let us reveal ourselves in 2020 or 2021. In the meantime, we will not shake nothing up around here. Just give us some territory. We can mess with those people only. Anyway, that deal got made, and here we are. And they still don't want to hold up to their obligation. It's because the people who are in charge today weren't the same people who were in charge back then, and they don't know the gravity of the situation clearly. But go ahead, what you were gonna say.
It was the former, I want to say, I guess the specialist that worked at the area, what is it called, Area 51. He interviewed with one of the news stations out here, and he spoke about it when he said when they were studying, the sites and everything in there, and first encounter, and how it was hush hush. They, and the government really didn't want to put funding into it and research, but he said yes, and he was like kind of saying respectfully, and I took it like he was there when the deal was made, and he's like, the more you're resisting against them, he said, I really believe it's gonna be worse. And he said, I never had a problem. I always respected. He said, and I think they need to keep the end of the deal, and they are here. He said, and we're gonna see more of them.
Okay. More and more. I'm in here looking at my emails.
And I think he gave him like a slight warm welcome in his own way, and saying it without saying it. It's a lot of things he said that is top secret, but what do you call it? When it's in the special files and stuff,
Yeah, in the sealed files.
Yes.
So this article, it goes on, because I'm just like, are you kidding me? So it says the Pentagon researchers reviewed 144 sightings, but said only one of them could be explained with confidence. The report said UFOs could be a national security threat, and that there was probably no single explanation for them, describing the results as largely inconclusive. It was concluded that in many cases they were real objects, having been picked up by multiple sensors in 80 of the 144 cases. So they were actual objects that were picked up. So they still can't explain it with the technology we have today and the science we have today. Let's see, there was no definitive link to potential technology developed by China and Russia, but that was possible. Oh, now they're going to blame China and Russia. Russia gets blamed. I mean, not to say they don't probably deserve to get blamed for everything, because I know they've been doing stuff, still doing stuff. Okay, long dismissed as the preserve of cranks and conspiracy theorists, the study of UFOs has been taken increasingly seriously recently by the Pentagon, which calls them unidentified aerial phenomena. See, they have a new name, UAPs. That's what they call it now. See, they're trying to change the name. See, that's what they do. So whenever you looking to see UFO information, you're not going to find UFO. You're going to find UAP. That's how they do it. Wow. So it was a Go ahead.
I have $1 million question. If they don't know, if they allegedly didn't know what it was, what is this, where they come from, how did they make a deal? How did they communicate?
Well, is the deal a public thing? You said the guy said it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's...
The interviewer had, the reporter had asked, like, basically, like, he said, I'm sure it's a lot of things that you can't talk about, and probably it would never be unsealed and made to the pub, to the Americans. But he was saying, like, the first encounter, like how, like, when this deal was made, how did you communicate? If you claimed that y'all been studying, trying to figure out, was it a updated technology, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but how did you communicate with the UFOs and aliens if you didn't even know who they were, where they came from, to even know what they were saying to you to translate? Like,
I don't know, because I've never heard an official say we've communicated with aliens. Like, even with this was supposed to be the big reveal, and this basically
right.
says we're still confused and we still don't have conclusive information. So I don't know how to answer that because I haven't heard that admission. But obviously, I mean, come on, like, people who don't believe. Della, did you say you don't? You said you don't believe in aliens. Is that right? Della be over here side watching movies and shit.
I am not. You know what? I try to be nice to you because it's your birthday.
Della come in, right in.
That's why you can't tell her nothing, because when you tell her something, she. Ashley, you know what? I'm hurt.
There's a lot of things I haven't said. What you talking about?
I thought Miss Della had her edibles. That's what I thought.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Della. I didn't mean to tell you.
You know what? This is my last time. I said that for the last 3 years.
Oh,
Miss P.
Miss Della, I was misspoken, everybody. Miss Della did not know.
It's so funny. So what were you saying?
You know damn well I don't believe in no UFO. That's what.
And wait till one land in that backyard of yours.
Okay, well, you know what? Then when one lands, then I will come and sincerely apologize to you.
I would hope so, because they're gonna want something from you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find it interesting how you don't believe. So you just think it's humans and that's it. Like, as far as life in the universe goes, you just think it's just us on Earth.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I don't know.
So you know what? You can move on.
So she believes. She really does believe. Okay. Yeah, she does.
They go come visit you.
You're talking to somebody that probably seen 90% of every sci-fi movie there was. So come on now. I would need to have some type of evidence.
Where you think they get a lot of that intel from for these movies?
Oh my goodness.
But you know what, Miss Della? You know what, Miss Della? They said that they didn't know if the UFOs came from under the ocean or above, or they said 99% of the world that no man has ever been able to go over on that, 99% of the world, they said no one has ever been able to reach that part, go over there, let alone get close to it. So that's a lot of percentage of whatever this part of the world is on the other side. They said they didn't say if it was in the sky. They said if you look with a microscope, telescope, you're gonna see. They said now you're gonna see more activity and a clear visual of what's going on up there.
Get you a telescope.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to give me one because I'm nosy. I'm interested. I want to know. I want to say hello. But Miss Della, they gonna come visit you. They gonna say, "Can you get us on God Is God channel?" Because she's been supporting us. And
they gonna come directly for that.
They already tell Miss Della we come bearing gifts.
Well, a probe.
They gonna tell you got free play. Go play the machine. They gonna make you hit the jackpot.
That's already been helped. They already been helping her. She don't even know. That's all right though.
I need them to help me.
You keep denying your people. So let's move on. I mean, this is a big bust. I'm disappointed. I mean, I'm gonna keep looking into this, but like I should have known they were gonna let down on this, because It was too much hype. It was too long coming. It was too long of a wait for this. Plus, I haven't seen no big news conferences or not. Like, if it was really something in this report, they would have been like, every channel would have had a big press conference about it, or would have been showing a press conference or something. That's crazy.
You would think.
They just
and
don't.
I actually thought it once I saw that little report on the TV, and they were saying, there's no aliens, and they would not say the word UFO. I actually thought about you, wanted to know if you needed a box of tissue or something like that at that moment.
Don't worry about me. No, because I'm fully expectant of that type of response from these people. They don't want us to know anything. They're not truth tellers. So, the truth is not going to come from the government. The truth is not going to come from mainstream media. Just know that.
Did you get the video from today, the updated?
Which video?
The news on this? When the man said, yes, they are here. We are, they're amongst us. I can't remember.
No, I didn't get did you send it to me?
Yes.
You got it I saw you said something about the gymnast.
No, check it either. If it wasn't the email, check your text message.
Oh, it's probably my text. It's not in my email. If it's in my text, yeah. So it's all good. I'll check it out. And we'll be continuing this discussion, whether Della likes it or not.
I thought they were talking about a new stimulus program when I saw those initials, but the spirit said, nope, open it up. And they was saying,
no, ain't no.
We are on it. We are on it.
I haven't heard about no new stimulus program. They trying to act like COVID never even happened. So, tell it it's plenty of jobs. It's nothing, it's all kind of incentives behind the scenes on getting this vaccine. They really pushing.
Yeah, the news reported about an hour ago that Las Vegas, Nevada got a spike already. They said they want the Nevadans, the Las Vegas locals, residents, to remind themselves that it's still a pandemic, and they done seen a rise in the people tested positive and having it. Oh, you think? They said that the CDC position is concerned.
Oh, shit. Wow. Yeah, like I said, don't expect to get your truth. The truth is going to come from them directly. They're going to just land on the motherfucker. They're going to land on the White House and be like, we here, bitches, and y'all been trying to hide us.
Right. And they trying to be so nonchalant with this. Like, they put a little teaser out and they kind of like brush over it. No.
I guess this is the video because it's right here on the article. When is this dated?
Okay.
This is dated yesterday. All right, I'm going to play this video then. Did I already stop sharing it? Let me go back. Some type of whack video. And they seem like they could do so much better with these videos. Like, really? Okay.
Hey, this is wrong, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not LNS though, is it? It's not. I do have LNS, man. Well, if there's another thing, it's rotating.
So that's the ocean. So it disappeared into the ocean.
Hey, go ahead! Woohoo! Did you watch Moving Target? No, I took an auto turn. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow.
That's weird. That's not the end, but it just kind of. Well, those pilots seemed super hyped and confused and excited all at the same time. The same way I think anybody would react by seeing something they can't explain. in the skies where they spend all their time. And I feel like I don't think any other country's technology is so advanced against ours that we would be so confused as to whether it's actually from them or from an alien. Like, I feel like they know better, but I don't know. Time is gonna tell, just like with everything else.
Yeah.
I think. But we can move on to R. Kelly.
I mean, are you sure you want to move on from the UFOs?
Oh, please know that I'm going to continue this after this live. I will be back into the research. Don't you worry.
Miss Jennifer, you want some last few minutes?
We didn't talk about this fool real quick. Just the fact that he did get
sentenced.
Yeah. I mean, he got sentenced. So, but
it's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. I think he set a precedence because he's the first police officer or former cop to be held accountable, tried, guilty, and sentenced. And let me pull this up let's see. Okay, this is something else about some other shit. Okay, here we go. The Guardian. Do we like The Guardian? Let me pull him up.
He was trying to get probation and time served.
Oh, God.
So it says, that's all his family members gave testimony. I saw what he said to the family, too. I was like, you could have saved that. Let's see. Derek Chauvin. I guess, oh, hold on, y'all.
And he was looking all crazy in the courtroom, like, oh man. They had his head and stuff shaved like he was about to go underneath the damn electric chair with no sponge.
He looked like a skinhead.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I was gonna say that was so he could fit in with his people in there. All right,
what do they call it? Aryan Brotherhood or something?
He sitting on the king's throne in there for what he did. All right, Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer who murdered George Floyd, has been sentenced to 22 years and 6 months for second-degree murder, closing one chapter of a case that thrust the issue of race in American policing back into the global spotlight. The 45-year-old, dang, he looked old. The 45-year-old appeared in court on Friday dressed in a gray suit with a shaved head 2 months after a jury found him guilty on 3 charges related to Floyd's death. The sentence issued by the Hennepin County Judge Peter Cahill was a 10-year increase to the state's recommended sentencing guidance for second-degree murder. Okay, he upped the ante, 10 years. Prosecutors successfully argued that Chauvin should face harsher sentencing due to a range of aggravating factors. Cahill offered only brief remarks before delivering the sentence, saying his decision was, quote, not based on emotion or sympathy, but adding, I want to acknowledge the deep and tremendous pain that all the families are feeling, especially the Floyd family. So he had a whole 22-page reasoning. He told people to read that. Let's see. The announcement followed.
Pages for 22 years.
The announcement followed victim impact statements from members of the Floyd family, including his 7-year-old daughter, Gianna. In a recorded video message, she was asked what she would say to her father today. She said, it would be, I miss you and I love him, she said. Oh. Let's see. So they say that, so prosecutors sought a maximum sentence of 30 years, a plea reiterated by members of the Floyd family as they delivered statements in person. I'm trying to get down to the bottom line of his charges, because there were some other things attached to the charges. I guess I could look at a text. Oh, Love Warrior sent me a text. Her text pretty much said it. Let me just pull it up real quick. It did. She was just like this, that, and that. I'm like, okay. Let's see. Let me find it. Okay. 22 years plus no guns or weapons for life, plus register as a predatory defender with DNA. That's what the text said.
Okay.
So there that goes. Okay. Well, it's something. I mean, I'm glad it's in the double digits, because it could have been 5 years, 10 years, he said he upped the ante too.
And after 15 years, he can go up for parole.
Well, remember the feds are still under the feds are still investigating him or whatever. They've charged him too, so he's going to be getting some more time. And hopefully it just runs concurrent and he just withers away.
Oh yeah.
Right? All right.
Yeah.
So moving on. This man is now in New York. Yeah.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
Finally.
Yes.
Brooklyn in the house.
Hey.
You spilled my damn drink.
Uh-oh. Sis, you got Butterfingers.
I don't know what's going on.
It's Slippery Saturday.
Baby, come on. Baby, come on. Oh, man. All right. So this motherfucker. No. R. Kelly is in New York, and we have been awaiting this, I think, for some time. We who are looking at this case and waiting for this trial and waiting to, get this thing done. Like, we're trying to see who's showing up. What are they going to say?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happened. I did a whole separate video on the different things, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with his attorneys. He has a new attorney now. This guy's supposed to be a celebrity attorney, handling, they mentioned some things to me, because they said Tekashi 6ix9ine. It wasn't Tekashi, it was somebody related to the case. But regardless, the man is seemingly a quiet guy. He's not all on the news like Greenberg. I doubt that we're going to be seeing all these press conferences and stuff like that. So I think that, this person has a lot of catching up to do. I heard on another channel, a YouTuber asking for donations, or asking, should they, instead of getting the banner that they had donated, I think $1,600 for, should they give it to the new attorney or the attorneys so they can file the motions that they need to file? So apparently there's all kinds of motions that they feel need to be filed at this point, when I thought we were picking a jury and moving on with the trial.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see if new motions are filed. And she was saying that they charge anywhere from $150 to $500 per motion, depending, or something like that. So I don't know. I just guess we'll wait and see on that. But yeah. In the meantime, we were going through his crime line, and we did leave off in 2003. Let me pull that up. Is there anything I'm missing? I feel like something. I know he has a hearing on June 30th, and that hearing is going to determine, or it's going to allow the judge to sort out the attorney situation. She had also signed an attorney to his team, I guess, to make sure that the due process continued throughout all this stress and strife. So, Judge Ann ain't no fool.
No, she's not playing no game.
Yeah, she's not giving them any room for any buffoonery.
Yes.
So, but let me see.
Boy, I wish I was a fly on the wall, boy, in the chambers and stuff. Boy, and shout out to the prosecutor and the judge. Get it, Judge Ann down.
Yeah, she's
not memorized by his sliding 3-knock dancing whatever Rico Kelly ass.
It'll be interesting to see how the whole thing with Nicole Blank Becker, the attorney, or Tricky Nikki, as I like to call her, being that she is also under scrutiny because of her relationship with with Joyce Lynn and Azriel, as well as Richard Arline, who's pled guilty to the bribery, bribing Azriel. So trying to keep her quiet. So
he gave up the phone number and everything. They found out. She probably picked it up too. Hello, Richard.
Yeah, that's crazy. So when we left off on this crime line, we were talking about how he was indicted in 2002 after an investigation, 21 counts of child pornography. He was arrested in his vacation home in Florida. He posted bail and he pled not guilty. And he says that it wasn't him in the video. Remember, he tried to bribe his brother. Didn't his brother say that?
Yeah.
To say it was him.
Yep. And they even had Bruce to back him on it. Bruce stopped, like, I do talking, I get him to do it. You know, old fool.
Well, he posts bail, right? And so here we are in 2003 in July, and he was arrested in Miami. He says, while shooting a music video, Kelly is arrested and charged with 12 additional counts of child pornography after lewd photographs are found in his home. But 2 months later, a Florida judge says the photographs were illegally seized and those charges are dropped. Just like that. And this is what I mean when I say a lot of times the problems is within the laws. I know that the laws are set up a certain way because there are a lot of people who are innocent or not guilty who are caught up in these types of charges, and we can't have it to where, you know, you gotta allow room for people to prove their innocence. Yeah. So, but when you straight up see child pornography photographs, and he just got indicted for 21 counts of child pornography. Yeah, child pornography. What? Like, it seems to me there should have been some continuation, and like they should have rebuilt that case somehow. Like, I don't understand why that just got dropped just like that. And
that seems suspicious and very suspect, because it makes me think, who made a phone call to make everything get dropped?
And it was 2 months later. Yeah, it was 2 months later. So my thing too, was he in jail?
You know what? I don't know.
Because he was out on bail in a different city, but I mean, seems to me he would have been in jail. Okay.
You know what, sis? With this investigation, see, he ain't getting out on bond for more reasons than one. That's we don't know what's sealed. They might have found out that somebody called themselves doing a favor, calling in a favor, but on his behalf. Ain't no telling. There's no telling how deep this rabbit hole goes, honey. And that's when it's gonna really be a boom. I just can't wait for this trial. I just can't wait to find out. I just can't wait.
Me too.
Yep.
Well,
because that's like so obvious that was a favor done. That was like some Trump move, honey.
I'm gonna click this little, because it says he was arrested and charged with 12 additional counts. I'm gonna click that. See.
He had that soulless look in his eyes on that one mugshot, like he did when he was a child. As a child, he needed a mother to love him and show him the right way, and unfortunately, he didn't.
This article is when he was okay. So it says R. Kelly, already facing child pornography charges in Illinois, was arrested today, January 22nd, in Florida on additional similar charges after investigators said they found 12 photographs of a nude girl. It says R. Kelly already facing child pornography charges. Okay, they just repeated that. Hold on, let me. Of a nude girl at the R&B singer's home. Kelly, whose first name is Robert, was arrested without incident at a Miami-Dade County hotel. He was being held at the county jail. Oh, so he was in jail. The bond was set at $12,000. So he was able to bail out on a $12,000 bond when he was already out on bail for the same charges.
Yeah.
And those charges are serious charges.
Yes. That's why I said he was, yes, they had to, at that time, the people had him protected. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he still had his money was flowing. Okay, it says a statement issued by Kelly's representative, Alan Mayer, called the arrest, quote, a classic case of piling on, in which a local jurisdiction tries to make headlines by attaching itself to a celebrity case. As far as we can tell, the charges all relate to R. Kelly's arrest last summer. In other words, there's nothing new here, he said in a statement. So he's basically trying to say it's the same stuff from the case he's already dealing with, so it's not a new thing. Oh my God.
The same thing that they're saying Greenberg came on the scene. They're talking about something that happened in 1999. You know, the same charges, same case.
The one he's referring to just happened though. It's a recent indictment.
Yeah.
So he's saying that they basically clout chasing in Miami. Okay, so let me just finish this interesting article. The artist has been out on bond and awaiting trial on 21 counts of child pornography. Those charges stem from a videotape authorities say shows him having sex with the 13-year-old girl. Kelly, 36, has denied that charge. Colonel Grady Judd of the Polk County Sheriff's Office said the latest charges were filed after pornographic digital images were found stored in Kelly's camera equipment. It had been seized during a search last June 6 in his rented Davenport, Florida home after the singer was arrested there on the Illinois warrant. And so, okay, so it's really more evidence to the case that he got acquitted on. In 3 of the photos, he is engaged in sexual conduct with a minor. He is not just nudity, it's him engaged in sexual conduct with a minor. Wow. It says Judd would not say whether, or are they talking about the actual Illinois? Maybe they're talking about the Illinois indictment. Ooh.
What was that?
Fireworks.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay. This is why you know it was some illegal behind the scenes paid under the table deals going on, because if they had a legal search warrant or however it go to go search his place, go bust up in there and collect evidence, whether they had a reason, a probable cause to go bust in there to go to come search. So how was it, like a technicality, illegally wrongfully collected and brought in and forked over? Like nah, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just scanning this article. It's just like a lot of details that I never heard. But
Yeah.
it said Judd would not
This
say-
when they said that articles will have different information from the original. Sis, this what the fans talk about in the docuseries. Yep, they can see new stuff.
Yeah, it says Judd would not say whether the unidentified minor in the photos was the same girl in the video made in Chicago where Kelly lives. Police were still trying to determine where those pictures were taken before considering any additional charges, Judd said. He said it took 7 months to issue the Polk County warrant because the state's attorney's office needed time to investigate. So they took 7 months to issue the warrant. So yeah, they were moving slow, but they were saying because they were investigating, but 7 months. So the Illinois investigation began after the Chicago Sun-Times reported last February that it had received the videotape. So that's Derogatis anonymously and passed it along to Chicago police. Kelly also has been the focus of at least 4 lawsuits, 3 of which accuse him of having sex with underage girls. He was acknowledged settling 2 of the lawsuits regarding underage sex, but his lawyers have said they will fight the 3rd. That's guilt in itself. You paying off people.
Exactly.
And I reshared on Twitter, I think on Twitter and Facebook, where Jim Derogatis said it wasn't the first tape he received was a different girl, and when he did that interview in 2018, he said they had was able to identify that young lady, that baby in that video. The first tape that he received, then he received another one. And then what else happened? Now that's like they're gonna say, oh, they had to give him his tapes. Like, how do you give somebody their tapes back of child pornography? If that's the case, then when they do drug busts, give the people they dope back.
They said they gave them back to him. They probably did.
I don't know if I want to say I heard that, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I might be wrong.
So I got a list. Actually, Love Warrior. I'm getting y'all mixed up. Yeah, she sent this to me. Yeah, you sent me that video. Thank you. It's the victims, Kelly's victims over 3 decades. Well, I don't think she finished it, but just up to where we're at, from the first decade, 94 to 2003, which is where we're at now. Tiffany Hopkins, Patrice Jones, Montina Woods, Tracy Sampson, Aaliyah Houghton, Roshana Lanfair, and he then also married Andrea Lee. It's a lot of underage victims. And then obviously the list goes on. So back to
the one that is public, because it's still some that has not been revealed in other victims. They said, I think Jim Delgado said 48 that they haven't released their names, and they have not been on social media. So that's a lot. That's just so much. But you would think if they found that kind of evidence on him, with him having, the other charges and accusations and whatever else he was facing all over the world, obviously. Even if they did do a legal search or however at the time they tried to brush it up under the rug. Why the feds didn't pick it? That's how it was something done. I can't see nobody, if they have any kind of humanity and a heart, can say, hey, this man is on these we're not going, no. We're taking this to the FBI, FBI, everybody. How you would have think they would have stepped in then. I know they ain't just sitting on these. Did they just sit on it? Oh my goodness. They probably did give it back to him so he could do away with it. That's how it was in that warehouse. They found it.
Yeah, whoever got him off the hook for it probably got it back to him.
Hey, that was that $1 billion job records made that day.
So prior to the Miami arrest, I think I went over this last time, that he released the Chocolate Factory album, his 5th album, which featured the Ignition remix. I don't know if y'all remember, his attorney at the time said he was advising against him releasing this. And did he tell him to change some stuff? I remember vaguely. Yeah, he was trying to advise
he said
him.
the original words lyric was so graphic and very sexual.
And telling.
Yeah, very telling. Yeah.
So of course, Chocolate Factory debuted at number 1, and it sold over 532,000 copies in its first week of sales. You know how much money that is? It's a lot of money.
Yes, and then you know what else? They said he named that warehouse the Chocolate Factory. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that album, listen to them words, because he always throwing a message in there about what he done did, what he's thinking about doing.
That is true.
That means because he had all young black girls. That's why he probably named it Chocolate Factory.
It is funny how, I think I was talking to somebody, we were saying how it would be interesting to have the lyrics and when he wrote, when those things were written versus when the victims were said to have been in his life, like trying to put the words to the people. But so the period between 2003 and 2008, there were a lot of delays and postponements of the trial. A series of improbable events, it said, causes the trial to drag on for years. In 2006, the judge, Vincent Gahn, falls off a ladder, sustained injuries. I'm wondering, did he get pushed? I think we talked about this already, but I'm gonna just recap. The following year, Kelly undergoes emergency surgery for a burst appendix, and the lead prosecutor gave birth. And then there was more delays because of that. So said the trial date was set for that September, but the judge postponed it once again. I wonder what I don't know if they had to give reasons that they did that, the judges, but I think that's interesting. So he was found, it says here, found not guilty. I say acquitted, but after one day of deliberations, Kelly's found not guilty of all counts. The girl believed to be on the tape refuses to testify. The jurors say that they cannot be certain of her identity. So it wasn't his identity that they were questioning on the tape. It was the girls.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And guess what? The judge that he had at that time also had a criminal record for being also sexual assault, I think, of a minor as well.
Did he?
Yes.
I didn't know that. And
he had all kind of crooked people. Yes, in Chicago, doing mob moves and mafia moves. You know what? That's what they karma. He fell off that ladder. He should have looked at it then. They allegedly said some days when he would have his care package, graciously just showing their appreciation for the judge letting him come parade in the courtroom, already on his desk in his chambers or whatever. They said he would come in and play the music in the courtroom, throw the robe off, y'all got the dancing, feeling good.
This is, because that trial, this timeline, this is time.com.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't include any of the little juicy stuff we got from other sources about, the judge.
Right.
He took some stuff off of the charges were changed because he made it kind of illegal for them to nail the guy, honestly.
Yeah.
And then we had racist jury members who admitted after the fact that they couldn't believe the girls because of how they looked, which was a code word for believing black girls.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
But
and then the way they harassed, even like Jim Derogatis, like the judge was always threatening and locking people up, throwing like, come on, what is going on?
Well, during the time of the trial, this article was published, and I think it's kind of interesting. This is the Chicago Tribune. It says this is right before the trial, so it's kind of like right now, right before this trial, but this is back in 2008 in April. This is April 25th, 2008. So it says celebrity obsessed culture will turn its eyes toward the R. Kelly trial next month, but what it'll see remains a heavily guarded secret. Cook County has spent months bracing for the high-profile child pornography trial, yet it arrives under a dark shroud. The judge routinely holds secret discussions with attorneys. Court filings are made under seal, and he has placed a gag order on not only the lawyers, but also anyone remotely involved with the case. On Thursday, Circuit Judge Vincent Gahn rebuffed media efforts to open the proceedings, saying a fair trial for Kelly was his paramount concern. The furtive legal maneuvering stand in stark contrast to the very public preparations for the trial. With hordes of reporters and cameramen expected to descend on the criminal courts building. When the jury selection begins May 9th, county officials have planned for everything from courtroom seating to the exact spot where the singer's chauffeur car will drop him off each morning. I bet you he thought it was going to go that way again this time too.
Yeah, he tried to have the same, had the women dragging the kids with airbrush t-shirts, like they said that he had them lined up on the buses, and had a ramp and everything, had his own special entry and exit of the courtroom. They said Oprah didn't even get that kind of treatment. And anyway, I was researching and I was listening to Miss Javante Cunningham Instagram video when she mentioned towards the end of a few months, around the anniversary date of us losing early demise of the beautiful Queen Aaliyah Alton, that she said R. Kelly was on that island. And she said it's like fact, not allegedly. He was there. I've noticed that the date that crash happened was the same date that he had that arranged falsified marriage, illegal marriage with her, to the day in the month. I found that kind of, you know, I found that kind of strange, not a coincidence, but I think it's something to that. And I believe that he was there. I really do.
For sure.
And that, and then a few weeks ago, that was another thing. When you research, they said the new evidence and information, the medical examiner said cause of death was a blunt force blow to the head was the cause of death. I told y'all they said she had a hole in her head, and it wasn't from the parts of the plane. A blow to the head.
Where did you say this?
Who hit her in the head? I Google it when you research it, and then I think this was information in this article. I'll pull it up. I think I screenshot it. I will repost it. Yep, because it was. I said, wow, this was published and put out there. I think a few weeks ago. Yeah, I said,
Okay. Well, this article goes on to say the building's main entrance also has been given a fresh coat of paint and a revamped information desk to help the county put its best face forward. So they were pulling out all the stops for the last trial, huh? It says the detailed plans have one common purpose: keeping the trial from becoming an O.J. Simpson style media circus and an embarrassment for the county legal system. To that end, gone California a few years ago to interview court officials involved in the Michael Jackson molestation trial to learn how they handled the media horde and heightened public interest. Really? So he went all the way to California just to talk to him about that. If the judge's vision prevails during the Kelly trial, there will be no dancing gongs on the Tonight Show and no one accusing him of losing control in the proceedings. The most important thing is that if we have a fair trial. He kept saying that, knowing good and well it wasn't. He was behind the scenes with all kind of deals and stuff, padding his pockets. He said at a meeting with county officials and a local media meeting earlier in the month that everything else is secondary to basically to him having a fair trial. He's full of shit. Let's see what else, if there's anything else interesting in here. It says the Times, it says basically all the news outlets, the Chicago Tribune, the Times, and the Associated Press joined together to file an emergency petition to open all the proceedings to the public, including another secret hearing scheduled for Friday. So the judge has been holding all these secret meetings. They said pre-trial, everything was open and public as it is now. But then all of a sudden, the meetings became secret. And so all these news outlets joined together to get transparency. It says Gahn refused the request on Thursday, saying attorneys must make their arguments in private to keep prospective jurors from being prejudiced by pretrial news reports. Okay. The judge denied presiding over a Star Chamber, which is a 15th century English court known for its secrecy, and said records of the sealed hearings eventually would be made public. That'd be interesting to dig up those old records, those transcripts and stuff.
Exactly.
As soon as the trial is over, the press will have access, he said. 2 weeks ago, Gahn ordered the courtroom cleared of reporters, spectators, and one of Kelly's bodyguards. Sheriff's deputies then directed reporters about 15 yards away from the locked entrance as they stood at the guard at the door. The judge did not give a reason for the 2-hour hearing or address its subject matter. 2 hours. Neither the prosecution nor the defense objected to the judge's decision on Thursday. I don't think there's been any 2-hour hearings in this case. Most of these hearings are pretty quick, from what I can remember. At least the ones the public has been able to listen in on.
The judge must have had some higher up protection and help and aid and assistance too to make shots and calls like that.
Oh, sure. I'm sure it probably wasn't even his decision. Somebody probably approached him like, look,
Oh yeah, they probably told, look here, bro, this what you gonna do, okay? And that's that. Okay.
Exactly. So let's see. It says here he pled not guilty. For all the secrecy surrounding the case, the judge has been open about trial logistics. He has held several meetings with the courthouse personnel and local reporters to address such issues as courtroom technology, parking for TV trucks. So it seemed to me he was super wrapped up in the media circus.
Yeah, want that camera shine. That
It says more than 330 reporters have expressed interest in covering the case, and new agencies from as far away as France, Japan, Australia, and England indicating they'll attend, officials said. And so this is all logistical stuff. Let me see. It says it's somewhat ironic that the court is only open about issues that people don't care about, said Damon Dunn, the attorney representing the Tribune and the other news agencies. That's so true. They want to be open and transparent, but they give us stuff that we don't. It's like, give us the juice. Like, you want to give redacted files and letters. Everything's blacked out.
Right.
Let's see. So yeah, it sounds like it was just this is before the trial. So this is like right before the trial happened. So I'm sure I don't even remember, I knew it was happening, but I didn't follow it like this, like how I'm following this one.
Yeah.
So I really didn't know all that was going on at the time, of course.
Oh, nobody knew, honey. Yeah, obviously they did, boy.
These reporters that were following, the reporters that were following the case knew things were fishy. I mean, that's what you're saying is that, like, what happened? Like, all of a sudden, you guys are holding all these secret meetings. They even joined together, which you rarely see that happen.
Yeah, you rarely see. Yeah, they was like, look here.
Exactly. Wow. So that's a trip.
This is deep. This is deep.
So then what happened? So he had continued success, they said. So he was acquitted in 2008 or, found not guilty or whatever. That was a, bunch of just corruption, honestly. And it says his career continues in full force. 3 more albums hit #1 in the Billboard 200. He's asked to perform at major stages and events, including Whitney Houston's memorial service, the 2010 World Cup, the 2011 Grammy Gala, and Coachella 2013. He releases an autobiography in 2012. Then came 2017 July. BuzzFeed publishes an expose.
Now I have a question. Was it true that he really was not welcome to Whitney Houston's funeral and he showed up anyway?
Well, according to this, he was invited, so I've never heard that.
Oh,
I heard he was nervous. Because when he first started, he didn't know how people was going to react to him coming there. It was some balled up faces there.
Yeah, especially when the men stood up. Yeah,
What year was that?
Oh,
let me see. They had it. I just said it. Let me see.
That's another one that I'm gonna have to research Whitney Houston.
I just had it in front of me. Okay, well, so basically it wasn't long after the acquittal, right? So basically people weren't, but it says he was invited to sing. So I don't know. Probably Bobby Brown. I don't know. I don't know how.
Yeah, we don't know at that time.
Pulled that off. I mean, he has relationships at this point. He had relationships, at the top of his game at that time. I'm pretty sure, things were. It was a different tone to that at that time than it is today. Also regarding sexual abuse and sex crimes, and child trafficking, and things of that nature. Everything we're more alert as a public and aware. Like, I don't think, it wasn't the way it is today. I guess I'll just say.
Do y'all know? I want to call back home in Detroit, and I'm gonna ask one of my family to see if they can find where it was local news out there that when he got picked up this time, y'all, with these superseding indictments. She said that when he got locked up, Detroit found it mighty strange that the missing were like runaway young teenage girls that would run away and be reported missing or whatever, and then return home. It kind of the numbers, the percentile went down.
Not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew said, let us know that the Whitney's funeral was in 2012.
Okay.
So 3 years later, yeah, that was still fresh.
And y'all know what too? You know how dangerous that is. That's just one city or state, Chicago, Illinois, that he had that kind of pull and rank with people in whether he was in the industry. Think just how many we don't know with people, whether they celebrities or not, that had that kind of help with getting away with something.
Right.
To this fact. And then there's a human, whether it's attorneys or the judge or not, then people had to see this heinous, most disgusting things done to these children, these babies, and then still help and bug dance proudly in front of the news cameras and act like he ain't did. Like, how do you sleep at night? I just don't understand. The judge was with the function, with them. Cause they don't they have to present the evidence to the judge too? Like, Your Honor, this is what we going after him for. We got these tapes and stuff or whatever, floppy disk, to carry those. I mean, don't they all have to view it together?
Well, yeah, the evidence has to be presented to the court, has to be, approved.
Yeah.
They don't just let anything fly.
And district attorney and stuff. Yeah.
What's up,
You know what I'm saying?
Pastor Lee in the building. What's happening?
Hey, Pastor Lee.
Hazel said Whitney's funeral was on my birthday in 2012, February 18th. I remember I cried as I watched it. Wow. Money talks. That's right. I agree with that also. So back to this list of his victims. Decade 2, that's how she labeled it, 2004 to 2013. So since we're already in 2017 here, so let me back up and list the continued list. Lisa Van Allen, Kitty, just have the first name Kitty, but I can't, I know who that is. Lizette Martinez, Geronda Pace, and it says 2000 unnamed Los Angeles underage victim. So yet a handful more of underage victims as we continue on this crime timeline. And 2017, the BuzzFeed expose was published, and that really cracked things open for the new era of victims and charges. Even though the first era didn't get justice, but I think everybody gets a win here if he gets, convicted.
Was Whitney Houston funeral in California? Got us down. Do we know? Well, I can research and find out because I'm collaborating.
Because I don't know where she's from. I'm thinking wherever she's from. I don't think she's from here. So.
She's from Houston, I believe.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe.
I think she's from Houston. But when I'm gonna research. Now we got research Whitney Houston, y'all. But the reason why I'm concerned, because I remember on one of those superseding indictments, it was 2012 that when he left from Connecticut and went to California and had the 12, they said 12 years old. It was in that year where they had her for 3 days, showed up on the scene. Well, already had another underage girl in the back of the SUV with these handlers, whoever he had from Connecticut, and moved her around from place to place. And this is the one that he actually got charged with rape and kidnapping and in one of those superseding indictments. And I'm gonna go back and look. Y'all. And if he did that, he was a busybody doing the most. But they still ain't revealed who was in Connecticut. Who's the handler, the woman in Connecticut that helped him get the 14-year-old girl to take her to California?
And why do you even need a handler?
And he showed up with others when he picked her and the underage girl because they said he slapped her in the back of the SUV because she couldn't get the baby in California to stop crying.
I just found an article and then it's gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back because it's on my Twitter because I put it up there. I said nobody talking about this one.
Make sure when you
right
tweet
here,
that, make sure when you tweet that you put some information in the actual tweet. You be posting your links.
Oh
You be
yeah,
like,
because at the
"Here you
time when I
go."
did it, I posted it twice. I didn't know I was new. You right, sis. I'm gonna retweet it,
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram. Because
So
now I got to know, honey.
I found an article. It says why R. Kelly, why the jury acquitted R. Kelly. And this is in the Chicago Tribune, and this is from 2008. But then when you click it, there's no article. That's I'm a.
I wonder if the prosecutor going through it.
Well, I don't know. They may have implicated some things that maybe they had to take it down. But there's another one from the New York. Who is this from? It says from the Time. Let me see, Time magazine. See, but the thing is, the Chicago papers are the ones who be really telling the details, I think. But let me just see what this says.
Yeah.
Going back, because I know we just skipped ahead to 2017 BuzzFeed, but we covered before the trial in 2008. I think we should also cover what happened after the trial before getting to the 2017, because they did just mention the bullet points, Whitney Houston's funeral, this, that, and the other, the little events that he attended. But I want to just see what they say here a little bit. Let's see. This is in Friday, June 13th, 2008. In the end, it was Cook County prosecutors' failure to call the woman at the center of R. Kelly's trial on child pornography charges that cost them the case. They had alleged that the R&B star knew she was only 13 years old when he videotaped himself engaging in sex with her. But on Thursday, just before the jury began deliberating, the prosecutors explained they did not call the female, who is now 23 years old, mainly because they did not want to expose her to unnecessary stress. But her silence during the trial was the problem. You know, that sounds like Jessica Reed, how her mother, who was the lady who Charlemagne R-word did, and her mother didn't allow her to testify or submit any DNA because she didn't want to, quote unquote, expose her to unnecessary stress or additional stress. So we all know that in this case, though, this is allegedly Rashana Landfair, and allegedly her parents were paid off, father given a job, brother given a job on the road eventually too. And she also was on the payroll herself. So, and they have evidence of all of this. And that's a part of the big, the case, the RICO case is the corruption, right? That took place.
Yeah.
So let's see, but her silence during the trial was the problem. After the jurors announced that R. Kelly was innocent of all 14 child pornography charges, 5 of them spoke to reporters in the Cook County courtroom and said it was that very absence of testimony from the woman or even her parents that significantly swayed their decision. A middle-aged black man dressed in a striped blue polo shirt said he had been convinced by the evidence that it was indeed R. Kelly who appeared in the 27-minute sex video. In fact, the man said he was prepared to cast a guilty vote, but he reversed course. He said, because I wasn't sure it was the female based on what I had before me. Shortly after the investigation began in earnest of 2002, the woman denied she was in the tape. Now, mind you, for them not to recognize that she was as young as 13 in a sex tape meant that her performance, I never watched the tape, but meant that they couldn't determine that by her performance, which is sad. Sad is an understatement, meaning she had already been active, like to the point where they couldn't even tell she was 13.
And that's what the word on the streets, in streets term is slang, like a grown woman performing like, you know, like experience. She's already experienced.
Exactly.
And they was, it was other pedophiles telling they women and stuff. It was a lot of men got beat up in Detroit too. Got they rear ends handed to them. You can learn something from this, doing better. Oh, sickos.
Wow. It says after Kelly's acquittal, Cook County State Attorney Richard A. Devine defended up his team's decision not to call the alleged victim, saying, "We weren't going to open new wounds," he added. Child pornography can be extremely difficult to prove, especially because the victims may not consider themselves to be victims. But we as a community have to stand up for them, even if they fail to come forward and state what the evidence makes clear. It is so you don't want to open up new wounds, but what about the future victims? So if this had happened, had he been incarcerated in 2008 or sooner, I mean, got the little years he was going to get. I think he had a max of 14 years he was facing or something like that. Well, whatever it was,
something like that.
At this time, whoever the girls were that were victimized in between during that period would have been saved. And hopefully, maybe he would have learned something for real.
Exactly.
Okay. So it says, at first, the jury deliberation seemed indecisive. After jurors began on Thursday afternoon, they cast votes out about once an hour. First, they reached a vote of 9 not guilty, 3 guilty. Then it shifted to 10 not guilty, 2 guilty. So it was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's see. I'm going to skip some of this because it is interesting, actually, now that I'm looking at it. It says they wanted a second VCR to review evidence more closely. It says, "I've seen the video too many times. The first time was too many," said one of the lone female jurors who agreed to be interviewed. Oh, the lone. So there was only one female juror in the jury pool?
I want to know who picked out the jury people.
Well,
that's what I want to know.
Each side has the opportunity. Each side is takes part in that.
Wow.
So that just says the prosecution was super soft. And I just don't see how that even happened. And let me see. It says one key piece of evidence prosecutors tried to use was an identifying mole they said appeared on the lower back of the man in the video, which they said identified him as R. Kelly. Evidence disputed by the defense. One witness dismissed the mole as video noise, and one juror said the mole played more of a role for the press. It never came up in deliberations, they said. Jurors said they discounted testimony from several of the alleged victim family members who were among 14 witnesses who identified her as the female. So they discounted all the family testimony. But not all relatives identified her as such, even declining outright to do so. That certainly sowed doubt in the jury's mind, along with the absence from the stand of the alleged victim and her parents. It says shortly before noon on Friday, the jurors sent Judge Vincent Gahn a note asking if they could deliberate into the early evening rather than ending at 5, perhaps to avoid working into Saturday. Then one juror, a 30-something black man, asked to be excused, saying a cousin had died Monday. His aunt and uncle had been hospitalized with pneumonia-related complications. His niece had been diagnosed with cancer. Jesus. Also, he said, my mom is freaking out. The judge swiftly denied the man's request to be. He was trying to get out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry with all those excuses. He was scared. So he might have been the compromised juror.
Yep. Now. Would it being a victim, don't it, whether they knew the whereabouts. The judge obviously knew the whereabouts where the parent and baby was. But don't they have to get, when prosecutors come, whether state or federal, don't they have to subpoena and it's court order that you show up at court when you go on a trial and get charged, you facing these accounts?
Say that one more time.
Don't you get court ordered when prosecutors, whether state or federal, you're a victim and your family, you know what I mean? Like, isn't that court ordered? Like, man, you gotta come. This is going to trial. You gotta be here. You have to be here.
I think because she was a minor at the time. Well, she was 23 at the time, right? At the time.
Her parents. Yeah, her parents. You know what I mean? Yeah, they didn't know where they was. They was out of, but How do you not show up? How do you not be court ordered and it's demanding?
I think they had already established that she was not going to testify. Remember, they said that the father watched the video in the judge's chamber and cried, and then just said it still wasn't
you're
her.
right. Yeah,
But
it
I'm
was.
saying
Yeah.
they were still protecting her. And then with regard to the parents, I don't know that the state took on the case, because you know how when somebody has a dispute, and then even if the person drops the case, the charges, the state can still pick them up. And then
exactly. Okay.
That was the case here. I'm trying to think, how did this happen? Was the state? It was the feds, right? Or was it the state?
No, it was the state, because
this was Cook County. Okay.
But I was just wondering, when you facing something like this, and then by the child, of course, being a minor, the parent was not court ordered to be there, to be on that stand. They just saw this judge, and I'm willing to bet secretly in the chamber.
Yeah, and denied that it was her. So they denied the judge it was her. So the judge was trying to make this thing go away anyway. So he probably didn't want to mandate anything. He's like, oh, okay, sure, we'll take that. It's up to the judge.
As a father, as a father, and even if you didn't know, and you heard side conversations, and you see, like, I just don't understand as a parent. And then now you see it in your face what this man did to your child. And you continue to play that beat, whatever instrument he played 7 years even after the fact.
You gotta realize that these people were probably. What did you say, Miss Stella?
Same thing that Love Warrior saying, the money talks. And also remember what that bus driver said. That whole time that trial was going on, he had her on that bus.
Oh, right.
Making sure that she didn't testify.
Even Mr. Ricky, I think his name Ricky Bivens. I wrote his name down. He said he brought her 21st birthday cake, and now she's one of the girls in the garage. I said, boy, I just, oh man.
Right, because the rumor had been that they were sent to France, her with her group, for all the time, but that turned out not to be the case. And I thought that was kind of weird. I'm like, that don't seem like his style to send them off to France while he's out here. I don't see that.
But you know what? Just as a human, they don't. And then your parent, Grady Tatum would have caught a murder with his first degree murder without a shot of a doubt.
I don't know where he doesn't have accountability anywhere, not with his family. But
it's sad. You basically sold your child. That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. You know, the system,
you prefer to have money.
The justice failed the baby, and her parents failed it, and that's more devastating than anything. Your mother and your father. That's terrible. That is terrible. And for years they made it seem like it was all right. You know, the psychological effect of that. Like
he was her godfather. He like took on the role of her godfather. Had the nerve to say godfather. But he basically became a part of her. He became family to this girl. He did. Took her by the wing and adopted her, basically. I just want to finish this article because it's just interesting, the visual, if you could just imagine.
Yeah.
The juror the man they said tried to get out of it, and they said no. The judge he told that man no, and swiftly denied them. And then he dismissed the 3 alternates, and he snapped, "We've reached the point of no return." He sent the jurors back to deliberation. Finally, after a total of 7 hours, the jurors reached a unanimous not guilty vote. And it says at 2:01 p.m., a sheriff quickly walked from the judge's chambers and commanded to the court, "All rise." Kelly, dressed in a dark blue suit, white shirt, and shimmering yellow tie, took a deep breath. He bowed his head with freshly tightened cornrows and looked at the ground. There was silence in the courtroom. He reached for the hands of his 2 defense attorneys. He looked straight ahead. At 2:04 p.m., the judge began reading off each count. Finally, Kelly looked to the stand. "Not guilty," the judge's assistant began reading each count. Kelly looked down, closed his eyes. "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus," he whispered to his defense attorneys. And suddenly the self-described Pied Piper wept. After the verdict was read, Kelly stood up, tears flowing down his cheeks. He hugged his attorneys. Supporters who'd been there for much of the trial walked up and hugged him too. Oh, I know they can't wait to hug this man. I mean, these YouTubers, these supporters. Five flights below outside the courthouse, a throng of assembled spectators erupted in euphoria. Minutes later, the man known as the R strutted out the courthouse, flanked by his beefy bodyguards and men who appeared to be his music label representatives. See, he had the label behind him, all of that. A fan, Lisa Jones, 33, screamed, "All right, he's innocent." And as she clutched one of the 5 children she brought to see the spectacle. She brought her children to a child pornography case, waiting for the predator to be freed. Oh, Lord, you can't make it up.
Nope.
It says that just then her 16-year-old daughter, Jasmine Emery, smiled as she walked away from the crowd. "I just wish they'd leave the Kells alone," she said. So she was 16 at the time. Where do you think she's at now? She's probably on YouTube somewhere, this girl, cheering him on.
She probably was one of those grown women when the first time they was when he was it in New York? Yeah, when they had caught when Joycelyn and Azriel was walking into the courtroom, and this lady, she had the yellow shirt. I'll never forget it. She had another one had her child.
Lady looked a little older. This girl, she can be no more than 30 or so, 30 something.
But it's like and then you know what? Lavelle Jones, he did an interview. That's how I found out he made a police report and also reported it to the record label with BuzzFeed. That's why I read that. And I said they do have police report. People did report him. And allegedly, what's his name? From public announcement, what's his name? Earl or something. They said he reported it too to the authorities and everything. You know what? That they did no.
Well, let me get back to this crime line, because in 2000, when this BuzzFeed thing came out, hold on, here we go. Oh, I attached the wrong article. Hold on. 2-hour mark. How are y'all hanging? I see y'all in the bushes. Okay, let me find a full timeline. There we go. Okay, so Deborah Goddess, who I interviewed, by the way.
Shout out to Jim Dare Goddess.
Yeah, publishes another investigation into Kelly's wrongdoings, this time on BuzzFeed, which alleges that Kelly is keeping women against their will in an abusive cult. The women interviewed, described as former members of Kelly's inner circle, say that Kelly lives with 6 women, controls every aspect of their lives, dictating what they eat, how they dress, when they bathe, when they sleep, how they engage in sexual encounters that he records. Kelly's lawyer says that the singer unequivocally denies such accusations. Jocelyn Savage, a woman whose parents told the police that she's being held captive, releases a video on TMZ in which she denies being held against her will. I think we all remember that.
Yes.
The piece spawns an activist hashtag Mute R. Kelly online as the Me Too movement picks up steam. And this is where my little ears and eyes start perking up, and the Times Out efforts also with boycotting his concerts and all that stuff. Like, I started paying attention also.
Yeah.
Let me just see. So pull that back up. Okay, so that was in 2017. And so now things are starting to heat up again. Yet again for this man. 10 years later, 2018 in May, another lawsuit. Faith Rogers files a lawsuit against Kelly in New York that accuses the singer of sexual battery. She later says Kelly tried to silence her through threats of retaliation. Remember that letter that is submitted with the court is evidence that someone wrote on his behalf or that he signed or whatever. It was a threat. I think they say Don Russell was behind that, but it was a literal threat. It was notarized. Like, who does that?
Yeah. And said that the Gloria all read. She's
These people are stupid. So it says a Kelly concert at the University of Illinois in Chicago is canceled due to protests, and his music is removed from Spotify's playlist. The following month, he releases a 19-minute song called I Admit, in which he denies many of the accusations against him. And then we are now at Surviving R. Kelly being released in January 2019. Also, my debut on YouTube spawned from this. I think this is a good place to end, and we can pick up where we left off next live. Let me come back over to the screen so I can see comments and stuff. Okay. Love Warrior says she could Love Warrior. Ain't you can sleep all dang day. I love you though. Okay, so that's right. Yeah, he never stopped or got help.
Nope,
he sure didn't. So I mean, it's been a journey, honestly. I'm sure how do you live like that? How do you live like this? Like, I just can't even imagine. Seemed like he wouldn't give me sleep.
It's called a sickness. He got a sickness. He should have prayed, kissed the ground when he got off the first time. So now you're right back again, and probably even worse. 100 and some videotapes. All of these different type of charges. So you're right. Concerts start being canceled. I remember he actually did a video and said, I don't know why they canceled a concert, you guys. Canceling a concert over rumors don't make sense to me. That's when his little career just started tanking.
Yeah. Robert Millington, what's going on? How's it going in Jamaica? It's been a minute.
But
yeah, you're late. Hi
it's
to the
just
big
how all of them.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
How any of them that was involved or was a witness to some, how any of them carried on all these years with a acting, pretending to have a sound mind and a clear conscience, knowing you're just as guilty as him actually physically doing it. In my point, my opinion. I know what you're doing behind those closed doors while I'm over here allegedly fixing the chords on the piano or whatever you call it, the organ board or whatever. And no, man, no.
Wayne is asking, did they fly him to New York? I hope they did, because he hates flying, they say.
I think they did. They got him on the first jet. Smoke.
They had him on a helicopter. Remember, they had him on a helicopter before.
Yeah. When he said, I flew in on a helicopter, y'all. And I'm on the whole time. Why would I do that?
Andrew said he's stuck in his teenage years. I believe that too. If he's stunted emotionally because of his so-called trauma, because honestly, I've said it before, we got the information that he himself was molested by his sister or whatnot out of his own book. I don't know if I can believe by that. This man is a liar.
And where's how so is that? Where, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, say that again.
I said, I wonder where she got her incest allegedly, you know, even though we heard it from her victims, which is her sibling. No, where she at? Why she ain't got no charges? That's what I want to know.
That's the thing too. Obviously, if this is something in the family, like, you know, but we don't know. Just because he said it doesn't make it true, or him and his brothers, because you know they will. You could tell they will say and do anything to keep themselves, you know, out from being accountable for something. So Love Warrior said, Juan Wayne, yes, they flew him as he's been there a few days. Well, I guess he was asking, how did they transport him?
Because he allegedly, Greenberg was lying in front of the federal judge, and then he was going to try to go talking about the request from Dubai, and the royal family was just pouring in. And the family had to come. They had hurried up. The expedition. No, we didn't send for him. We asked for him. Tell you to keep our names out their mouth. We got nothing to do with that.
Right. Who
Talking about he's afraid to fly.
That was one of the first things he would continue to say. He's not a threat.
A flight risk.
Flight risk, yeah, because he don't like to fly. Like, are you really going to be technical when you say flight risk? You know, flight risk can mean hiding in the bushes somewhere. Like, it just means you're disappearing from the situation. It doesn't mean you necessarily don't take a flight, even though that could be, knowing him. You think if you're facing all these charges and all this time, you scared of getting on a flight, that you're not going to get on that flight. If you're given the opportunity, you're going to get on that flight. I don't care if you piss your pants, if you shit your pants, or whatever it is you do.
He flew when he was going all over there in Africa and stuff. I know he didn't drive.
Oh, she said his sister's from Denver. I'm sure he bought her a nice house. He's like, look, you're going to hear some things about yourself. I'm actually going to say these things, but I just need you to chill. I got you. I'm going to get you a house. We got you set up.
Yeah, they said that allegedly he did. He bought her a home and whatever else.
Nobody else no home. He ain't really heard of him doing anything charitable. Yeah.
And nothing genuine. Nothing genuine.
Yeah, it's always quid pro quo. He's going to need something back for you. He's going to give you this. You're going to give him that. That's the type of guy he is. Get it twisted. I've heard so many things, people out here on these YouTube streets talking about how he's such a genuine man, so nice, so giving, so sweet, so this.
Ain't gave nothing.
Where is this evidence that in all these 30 years of his being in Chicago, specifically, his mom even have a headstone? Like, there's so many just stories about him being chased out certain neighborhoods.
But you know what? We found out that he lied about the closeness that he had with his mom, even with the music teacher, Miss McLean. He be fabricating a lot of things. So ain't no telling, honey.
He rewrites history, is what he does.
Yeah.
To suit his own delusions. So
wow.
Well, look, y'all, we're gonna end this here. I think we got a lot out of this live today. I hope you did. I know I did. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming, Beautiful Spirit and Miss Della. Appreciate you as always. And Love Warrior in the chat. And Wayne and Aisha, thank you for coming back. Andrew Staples, I'll be seeing you in my comments. I'm glad you made a live. And Robert Millington, I'm glad you finally popped up too. Hopefully your daughter's enjoying that iPad. I forgot who else Chrissy Power, I saw you too.
Yeah.
And whoever's in the bushes, I appreciate you for hanging. Tony, the critical thinker, thank you for coming back. Yeah, we'll be back on. I don't know if I'm gonna do a messy Monday. I got some mess. I got some mess to play. I might just play some audio and leave it at that. But if not, we'll be back Wednesday, and we'll continue this R. Kelly, because Wednesday is supposed to be really for R. Kelly. So, he got to have his own night with all this that's going on with him. So we'll be back to continue talking about R. Kelly in these cases, and then next Saturday and so on and so forth. That's what we're doing. Oh, tomorrow is Sunday. Shout of love. I'm back. I took Sunday off last time. I've been encouraged to possibly change the time, being that I'm up late on Saturday nights, and the person did make sense. Like, why you do it so early? You don't have to. I'm like, you're right. So I might just change the time. So just, hopefully you're subscribed, get the notifications, and, join us for a little bit of praise and worship. A couple minutes, like 10 minutes worth. Yep. Shouting out God, greater gratitude for life and breath and connections and all that. But yeah, again, thank you guys. Any last words?
I appreciate everybody. Another great live. I enjoyed it. Very informational. Prayers, love, and light and peace, and to everybody.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Oh, Hazel E. Yeah, thank you for coming back too. Appreciate you. Okay, yeah. enjoy the rest of your night, or if you hitting the sack, sweet dreams, baby. And know you are magical and powerful and amazing. And, you know, just know that every day you wake up with breath in your lungs, sound mind and body, it's blessings. Show your gratitude every day, every single day. All right. Much love, y'all. Peace.